Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Innkeeper. Today we're playing some Mini Metro. Let's go! What are we doing right now? We're not screwing around, that's what we're doing. Oh, right, I was clicking the enter key there. Let's go to a commuter, and let's do some, the Big Apple. Yeah, let's go to the Big Apple. We've not played that yet. We played London before. We've got a pretty good score in London, well, in comparison to our previous scores. And, Paris, we did not do so well, mostly because of all this water action right here. Even though the Thames should be significant. Yes, all of this, like, little mid-island stuff. However, New York doesn't look as hectic, but then the shape of it is a little bit weird. It's a little bit more detailed for some reason. I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe gamer bias. I'm not too sure. Maybe they live in New York. They can actually represent in a different way. Not too sure. However, let's make a track. Let's get this game rolling right now. Now remember, there is no sound yet. However, there is a speed option. Now, I'm not too sure. So you can pause with space. As you can see, it comes up with the red clock now. But you can also increase the speed of the game. Now, this can be accelerated or paused using the arrow keys, which is why we're going to be using the arrow keys instead. And we're going to be increasing the speed of the game. Oh, wow, that is a fantastic use of a line, if I do say so myself. That is just fantastic. Across the squares and the circles. See, there we go. That makes a lot more sense now. The red line still connected to these two lines, connected to two circle lines. Of course, it does need a triangle, which means there is going to be a section here where there will be transferred. But that's a normal thing, okay? We don't have to worry about that kind of crap right now. This is a good way to make a little segue section right here. And anything... Actually, no, we need to keep the square there, because it seems to be the only square we've got right now. Also, this epic mega speed mode is pretty helpful. Also, apparently, it tells you what speed mode you're in. So, there we go. Fantastic. Do we want to go up to... No, we want to do this. I like the idea of doing this. Another triangle is pretty nice to have. We have one down here, but, you know, we do need to pick people up over there anyway. So, we're going to go ahead and do it. Do we want to go super speed mode? Sure, why not? Why not? We want to get a bunch of people. Got a bunch of people from the triangle area there, which is pretty fantastic. Going to take some from the circle there. There's another triangle here. Should I go up, or should I just continue to connect it to the green? We should probably make this an extra line. Because we do have another one. Let's make a locomotive, and do we want a line or a carriage? At the moment, I like the idea of having the extra line, because it looks like up here is going to start getting a little bit hectic. If we have another line connected here, that would work out fairly well. Of course, I know we have another line anyway, but it's pretty nice to go sort of all out when it comes to this kind of thing. Now what we can do instead, I'm having a few frame rate issues here. I'm not too sure why that is. I've just paused, and now it should hopefully restart itself. I'm actually going to go back and go to the... Oh, crap. No. It's really weird. Why am I having issues with my frame rate on a game like this? Fraps, ladies and gentlemen. I am hoping to change the DX story eventually, because apparently that's just better than Fraps, because it doesn't tank your frame rate as much. So that's pretty fantastic. Good thing to think about. Also, we should go down from here, because I just realized we're connecting a triangle to a triangle. So that's pretty good to see how the circles popped up. Although they're getting picked up from green anyway. Red looks like they're getting a little bit of problems. But this station here is connected to two stations anyway. Two lines, that is. Merv is making a lot of ruckus right now, Merv. What are you doing? Why you gotta bewhittle me like this? This is just rude. We need to make, like, monorails. That'd be fantastic. Monorail. Monorail. There we go. Fantastic. A good reference right there. All right, Merv. I will open the secret entrance for you if you just stop making so much noise. I'm getting a new microphone, I might add, as well, which should hopefully drown out some of Merv's murmurings. Merv-murings, as I like to say. It's not my intention to drown out Merv's murmurings. It's really hard to say that. But he does make a lot of noise when I start recording, which is just frustrating. So that hopefully will deal with the problem. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a blue line across here, because Red's having to deal with quite a lot of stuff. And in fact, we're going to get rid of some of Red's troubles. And we don't want to get rid of that much of Red's troubles. And instead, what we're going to do is we're going to move Blue back so that Blue does this. There we go. I think that's a much better idea. Get rid of some of the tension that Red has to deal with while still having the interconnection right here. Now, unfortunately, if we just pause right here. Actually, that's not really unfortunate, because we can have Blue deal with this. I like the idea of Blue dealing with that. Unfortunately, it does mean it's quite far away, and it will eventually fill up with loads of circles. So, it's not great. Well, not circles, but other shapes. That's actually not that bad, because they're all probably going to be triangles for the most part. So, they're all going to go into this one triangle station, which is the middle station, which isn't that bad. Now, what do we have right now? We have one small bridge. We've got 4 stations running. This looks like it's going to have to be green's trouble, since it just seems to make sense. I'm trying to not use any tunnels right now. I'm not too sure if we have any. Yeah, we've got 2 tunnels. So we can have some tunnels. Well, I'm just going to say bridge, because it sounds cooler if it's a bridge. Imagine a train going over a bridge like that. Yeah! Train bridge. Locomotive, fantastic. What else do we want? Do we want a line or a carriage? Now, it looks like we're probably going to have a carriage eventually, because green is starting to get a lot of trouble right now. Pink or purple doesn't seem to have too much going on right now, since it's only connected to 3 stations. So I'm not going to worry about that. And I think having an extra line would be pretty great. In case we start having trouble on this side, then an extra line would help out fairly well. We do have an extra locomotive to fill up that extra line if we do have some problems. And obviously, we can micromanage it by moving them round a bit. Now, I sound excited, ladies and gentlemen. That's because it's Christmas. Okay, Christmas is in the air. Joy, love, peace, and harmony, and all that crap. You know, all that stuff. Yeah, definitely what it is. Definitely. It feels good right now. Kind of. Actually, it's mostly because of the new microphone. Excuse me 1 second. I must learn to clear myself before I actually start, which is something I keep forgetting to do. Also, we're going to start having a lot of problems down here, so I think we need to get rid of some attention from green and start giving it to orange. In fact, that's a good idea. What we should do is move this down here and just make purple come down here instead. I think that's a much better idea. In fact, this should connect. Yeah, there we go. That's fantastic. So it's going to keep going around in a circle there. Green's not going to be able to have, well, will not have to do as much. Red's going to go up here because I think blue's doing enough and red isn't now. And we do have a station down here that does need a bit of help. Now, it does mean green has to deal with a little bit more rubbish, but I'm not going to be worried about that too much. If we did have a square in this little section here, I probably would leave this disconnected from the rest of the area, because it doesn't need to be connected. But I'm wondering if if these guys only come up with squares when there's a square station connected through interconnections and different coloured rails and that lot. I don't know, but that would be pretty interesting. Green right now is a bit awkward because it seems to be getting all the stuff, and in fact, it looks like I might want to make a new station and maybe move red up here and make the new station sort of focus around this area. It will have its own bridge anyway, so we're going to pause. We're going to move red to this section right here. And in fact, what we'll do with red is we'll do this. And we'll probably get rid of blue here. Make him go down 1 so he doesn't have to go all the way down here. He is connected to 2 triangles, but that 0 down here I don't think matters too much. In fact, it might be better. I think this is fine. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, if we go back here on green, we can actually just start doing this instead. And we'll probably connect him to the middle rail here and then have a new rail for orange that does this. Merv right now making those eating sounds. I'm just going to close the secret door. That's very frustrating to hear. I think that's good. I think what we need to do is make orange cross here, though, so that there's proper interconnectivity there. I don't think we really need that, actually. We might not want to bother, because I don't really see the point. Especially if a circle going to a circle. They don't have squares. That's actually the point. That's the only way that squares are going to be dropped off. Now that I think about it, we're going to have to try and make another connection for orange that's a bit closer. And I'm thinking up here and not down here. I think it's a better idea for it to not be down here. And in fact, now this is fine. Oh, I hate when it does that. I think this is good. We need a connection that goes to a triangle, because we've got a lot of triangles going on with all these circles. And we're going to get a bunch of squares from these areas. So let's be careful right now, because most of our squares are down here. And in fact, having the other connection right here for red probably would be a good idea, because we've got a lot going on right now when it comes to red. We may need an extra locomotive, which unfortunately right now we do not have. Let's go to super speed mode and see if we can catch up on what we're doing right now. See if this new system is an improvement in some way. We do have a lot of triangles in some of our carriages. Let's slow down a little bit, because it seems that we have another issue right here that we can solve with the green line. Locomotive, a carriage or a line? Oof, I don't know. I think the carriage is a really good idea for orange right now, because they're going to have a lot to deal with. But then again, I think the fact that red and blue don't have squares, I think is a good reason to have a carriage. I think if red can actually hold most of the squares that it has to deal with, then it should not have too many issues. That's the only problem. It's the squares right now. We have so many of them to deal with. Excuse me. Right, so we've taken a bunch of them down here. We're going to drop a bunch of them off. They're probably going to transfer. Pick them up from here. And that should be most of the squares dropped up at this station here. There we go. Now, unfortunately, it does mean that this orange cart has to get down here and pick up stuff from this station before it's too late, which usually is the case. That's why we don't have the bridge this way, because it looks like they're not going to worry too much. That's good. That mess has been cleared up. We do have a bunch of squares down here, though. So green right now, if we just pause, we've got to do squares right here. We've got to focus on what we've got. Now, green is connected to 2 of these squares. So will we want to back that up a little bit and make sure that green can actually cross on over to the blue side to have the ability to pick up more squares? I think that's a really good idea. I think if we go back here and we just pick up from here and then have green cross over here to this section so they can actually pick up squares from here and drop them down on this plot of land here and any other areas, that would be pretty great. It would be quite unfortunate because it seems to be connected to a lot of circles which do drop off a lot of the other squares, other shapes that are a little bit more exotic, as it were. This is a very exotic pentagon right here. Fantastic is basically what it is. Hopefully this works out. Pink right now doesn't need to worry about too much. It seems that it's been living in its own world, basically. I don't need to think about it. So I'm not going to think about it. I think it's a good idea that we gave red the carriage, though. It seems to be using it to great effect. Now, unfortunately, orange is still having a few problems. There's quite a lot going on at orange, but mostly because there's a lot of squares being dumped off at the rail. It's a good thing that we did change it a little bit so that green can actually pick up some of them, but he is at the same time picking up some of his own stuff as well. And I'm actually starting to think of maybe down here. Oh, no. Okay. Green's gonna have to cross there. There's no way we can do this. Yeah, we're probably gonna need a carriage at green. It's a shame it's another circle and we don't have enough bridge. Oh no, that's very unfortunate. How are we gonna deal with this? We're probably gonna have to back up with red on this bridge. We're gonna have to cross this bridge with green. We have to do it. I don't see any other reason. Any other way even. As for orange, we're going to have to keep orange the way they are. Because we love them the way they are. And I think, because purple's connected to its own station now, we should probably remove green from the presence of that station and move it just directly to this one. So that it has a clear way of getting to it and it doesn't have to go to any interconnections. Now, unfortunately, it does mean we will need to move... Oh, no. I hate when they're on the platform already because we can't actually select them. Now, we will want purple to start here because we need to pick stuff up from this location. Now, hopefully, he picks up mostly squares. He should anyway, but we want to hope. So that has actually happened. He will, unfortunately, drop off some of these pluses, which, where are they? Okay, we got a plus down here where orange is, which means it's mostly going to be interconnections from everyone else to this main station here. That's unfortunate. It's definitely going to be one of the more heavier stations, and only green and orange are actually connected to him. A locomotive, which is pretty great. Now, do we want a bridge or a line? Bridges right now, I think we're okay with. I'm not going to worry too much. There are a few of connection problems, mostly because there's only squares on the middle island, and there's not on the adjacent islands. So we really need to, maybe more bridges would help out, especially if we start getting stuff up here that maybe purple can deal with. But I think we've got 2 locomotives. Do we need another line? That's really, it's really the point here. I feel like we're going into a new level, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Mini Metro here that we've not yet witnessed in my gameplay, at least. I think a line, but at the same time, like having an extra bridge is really good utility. We can't afford to lose, if we can't afford to have anything appear up here, because green will take ages to actually get up there. We have 2 locomotives, and we're connected to everything. I think a bridge is fantastic. We get 2 bridges, which is even better. Now we've got to move pink up here, still working like this, and we're going to have another locomotive for green. or orange. Now, the problem with orange right now is the connection isn't great. I think if orange can actually go to this, the pentagon, that'd be fantastic. So we do have a few diamonds here. Obviously, they're not pentagons, but I'm not too sure if... Pentagon? Pentaku? Where is the diamond? There's some diamond shapes here. I'm not too sure if they're just misrepresented because they're small. Oh, there it is. There's a diamond in the orange line. Okay. So orange right now probably needs the most sort of a single locomotives right now because there's a lot going on there. They do have every shape though, which means it's definitely the main station. Or one of the main stations. Actually, it is the main station. It has every single shape. Green doesn't have every single shape. It doesn't have a triangle, which means there's going to be a lot of connections there. Purple right now doesn't have every single shape. I'm mostly pointing out to the exotic shapes, and they're pretty much shapes that are not squares, triangles, and circles, because they're the more prominent. So what we'll do is we'll get a locomotive. I'm going to put it on orange. I'm going to see how that goes. See how it goes. And we might want to put one... I think if we extend this and we give a locomotive to purple, I think that'd be a really good idea. We're going to see how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. But let's not put our hopes up. Let's not get too happy, basically, okay? Everyone should be depressed right now. See, we've got a problem right here already with purple. They are going to pick up a bunch of people from that station, which is pretty great. But it is a station in the middle, and it's a bit in an awkward place. It means they have to go back and forth quite a lot. Of course, that's the whole point. Oh, blue's going to have another connectivity there. Not that bad. I'm not going to complain too much. In fact, red might want to take that instead. Mostly because red doesn't seem to need to do too much right now. We do have a problem down here, but it looks like they'll be able to pick up 2 from there. Right, we need to stop right now, and I think we need to get rid of the carriage and give it to green. Because it looks like red doesn't have to deal with too much right now, whereas green does. So we're going to swap that over. Red only has 4 stations. Blue only has 5 stations. So all of these guys are basically dealing with the front right now, the primary numbers of people. This is getting filled up with a lot of these crosses, which unfortunately can only be connected to the end of our orange station here, which is a bit unfortunate. We also have a few places at top here that we have neglected. See, it's a good thing we got those tunnels, but now I'm also thinking that's very far away. It's a good thing we do have 2 locomotives for pink, but I'm thinking we don't have an extra one, do we? No, we don't. So 2 bridges are being used just to connect to this. That's really bad. I mean, what we could do, in fact, this might be a better idea. If we get rid of that from blue, and we keep blue here, and we just disconnect from that completely. We go up to this guy, obviously. But with blue, we just connect to this and then connect up like that. Because I think that only uses up 1 bridge, but I could be wrong. Okay, I was thinking it would use up 2 because it connects to a piece of land. But fortunately, it only uses 1, and we move red up here. Now, this does increase red's load, but nowhere near as much as everyone else's. Blue right now, doesn't matter. He's going to the same shape, so he's not really going to change too much. Maybe a little bit of an extra distance. It doesn't really matter too much. Blue's load isn't really making too much of a difference right now. That may change, obviously, depending on how many people spawn on this side. What we'll do, though, is we'll go on extra speed mode. I love this speed bonus. I get to play more. Yeah. And also, I'm very, what's the word? I'm very... I don't want to say prone to boredom. I don't want to say that. Because that just doesn't give the game justice, if that makes sense. Because it's a fun game. But, tedium, maybe, would be a better description there of the emotion or the feeling that I get sometimes when playing these sorts of games. Locomotive, fantastic. Carriage or line? Ooh, an extra line here would be pretty fantastic. You'd get rid of some of Orange's load when it comes to these special blocks. I think is a good idea. Probably mix it up around here a little bit more. That might be a good idea. Or we can have another bridge connected up to these guys, because they're probably going to start having a few problems here. Like, blue right now already has a few problems. They're carrying pretty much all of pluses by the looks of it. I could be mistaken. They might be circles. But that's very unlikely since he's just come away from a circle. He might be going towards a circle, though, so I could be mistaken. I thinking a carriage is pretty great for purple right now, but they already have 2 locomotives. Green right now has a lot to deal with, but I think they're already a carriage. I think having a locomotive for orange is pretty good, but a lot of them are going toward orange. Man, I need to like read up on the meta right now. I think having a carriage on orange is a pretty good idea. That's what we're going to do. So, carriage on orange, there we go. Since there's a lot going on, I feel like the game just got brighter for a second there. I'm not too sure if I'm going slightly insane. Also, this area is really dangerous for us because it's just filled with circles. I'm hoping these 2 lines are not going in the same directions. They're not by the looks of it, so it should be fine. At least it looks like we will be. We're keeping our eye out because they're mostly not... Oh, looks like green has got to work a little harder now. That's not fantastic. It seems to be this line that's taking a lot of damage because it is connected to 3 stations. And it is a circle, which means not going to get too much because it's primary shape that we have right now. It's mostly the green lines, though. So it's a good thing that we do have this express line. As it looks like it's the express line of the island of Manhattan. So we should be fine. This station here is going to get visited soon enough. But it looks like, yeah, orange should get there. And blue should get there. Unfortunately, orange didn't pick anything up because I don't think it's going on the route. I think it might have been full, in fact. But it looks like orange and green are coming over there to pick it up anyway, so we shouldn't worry about it too much. It's a good thing about having these 2 more important lines, because they do have carriages instead. Now, we do have another locomotive that we can use, and I'm starting to think that maybe we should use it. Let's pause right now. Excuse me. So these triangles should be dealt with, because there's 4 circles here. He's going to pick up all those triangles. I think we're fine there, actually, so we should keep going. Excuse me for 1 second. Apologies about that. I really have a problem. I've got a problem right now, okay? Pink. My god. I'm giving you too much to do. That's the problem right now with pink. And you only have 1 square, so you're going to fill up with squares very quickly. I don't know. We need to give a little less attention to pink up here. And I'm thinking maybe if we put green on here, but that might just increase congestion. Well, increase waiting times. I don't want to do that. The bridge here is needed. The bridge in both of these areas is pretty much necessary for our survival, basically. And I'm trying to think how I'm going to be able to get this done. I mean, I guess we've got no real choice. It basically does the same thing. It's just going to take a little while longer. We're going to go for it. Right now, I really do think purple should have another locomotive because it's filling up fast. A carriage would be pretty nice right now, but I might be going a little bit too mad on my carriages. Blue needs to go and stick to this guy. Oh, he didn't do it for some reason then, but it's fine now. I still think blue's okay. They just seem to be picking up stragglers. It seems to be the center that's getting a lot more business, as it were. Hopefully we can pick up all these pluses. That's fantastic. Orange has picked up the primary amount of those, but it is going to get filled up and not be able to unload until the next plus station. Now, this is the unfortunate part because we're getting a lot of this plus stuff going on right now. Oh, crap, and red has to go down here now as well. Lots of tension. We might want to reconsider the construction of our system right now because I don't think it's going to do us justice. Now, more bridges would be pretty great. I think an extra line is required. So let's pause. An extra line is definitely necessary. We need something that's going to help us connect this sort of section of these more important shapes. I'm thinking across here, like this. I'm thinking that's pretty good. We only need an extra locomotive, and it basically connects to all of the important shapes, while also connecting to some of these ones. Now, it's not connected to the square, so we will do that as well. But it spreads it and it thins it out. I think this is what this line is meant to do. Red is going to have a few problems, but hopefully they don't have too many. It seems to be just circles and triangles. But hopefully this yellow line should not make that too much of a problem. We do have one locomotive available, so we're going to see how this goes. It should be alright. Now, it kind of makes me want to get rid of some of the congestion here with orange. I feel like them going down to this square is pointless, since they already go to a square anyway. So I'm kind of feeling like getting rid of this for orange. And just replacing it for yellow. Because yellow is a congestion line. I feel like it's just going to be there to sort of get rid of some of the stragglers. There's a diamond. Oh, no. That's connected to red. That's not good. Red's going to become a more prominent line now because it's got a very special shape that a lot of people are going to get. What are we going to do with this? We might want yellow to go up to the diamond instead. And I think that's a much better idea. It doesn't matter about this circle right now. We do get a lot of problems with this. In fact, what we can do is that. And then we can have another locomotive to yellow. Yeah. I think green should have a little bit more. I think green should go up here now. And we should get rid of any congestion with pink. Yeah, I think that's a much better idea. Because I think it going up like that is inefficient. I don't think there really is much point for it. Because it is a circle anyway. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully well. But I'm not too sure. We should take our chances here. We are having a little bit more problems here when it comes to red. But it's being helped out a little bit more now. Because of this yellow line. But we are going to start having a few problems here. Already, we're having a few areas light up. But they are being dealt with, for the most part. Now, blue right now, we're going to actually get rid of some of their congestion and just do that. I kind of want it to go down and pick up this triangle because it's just got circles right now. That's not really great for it. We're picking up a few lines. Oh, what was that? Some triangles need to be picked up as well. That's good. Purple's got it. Anything else? What are we having problems with right now? We've made 1,000 people. That's really good, especially in the first time in New York. I imagine it's more difficult than, it's far greater difficulty than the other, Paris and London, just because it's third in the row. I imagine it is. Also, there's a lot of water going on, lots of tunnel work. However, we don't want to speak too soon because already this station is having a few issues. So we're actually going to connect it to purple, but we don't want to connect the line completely. I feel like this should be a dead end for purple anyway. And then it should just go back round and these two carriages should be in sort of a sync. Not in an actual sync, because that would be really weird. But yeah. Merv, stop making those chewing noises. Wait, where are you chewing right now? You're not up there, are you? Hello? I should pay attention. Oh, week 8. Fantastic. A locomotive and a carriage, I think, is necessary for red. Right now. A bridge would be nice. But we might be able to work with that. I think a carriage is necessary for purple. Let's get a carriage for purple. There we are. There's a lot of build-up for purple right now, which is why I think it's necessary for a carriage. To save it from any future problems. This isn't good. This station is getting overrun a little bit with all these stations connecting to it. Oh, there's a new line as well. We're going to have purple connect to that. Purple's got a special block. Or a special shape, even. So we're going to keep our eye open for that. This is getting hectic very quickly. Orange doesn't have as much to deal with now. So what we'll do is we'll come down here. Oh, no, he won't do it. Why not? Is it because it's connecting with this yellow line in a really awkward way? Fine, we'll just go down here then. A little bit awkward for our yellow line. But what we'll do is we'll add another locomotive to yellow. Because it looks like we're definitely going to need one. Since there's a few areas where only yellow connects to. Down here and across this area. But this area right now has got a lot of congestion. So we got to hope we can actually pick it up in time. I'm actually starting to think of maybe... Do we have any tunnels? We don't. Okay, that's unfortunate. I think orange doesn't do enough right now. Especially for them having a carriageway. And a lot of tension has been taken away from them. Oh, are we going to get there in time? That's a good point. Tell you what. Orange, you need to start going up there because we're having a few problems. If you can pick them up, that'd be pretty great. It seems like you're dropping them off more so than picking them up. That's not great. So red's coming up though. He may save the day. I like how it stops when they're picking people up though. Orange has just come in though. And he seems to be picking up the primary load. Oh no, he's actually dropped off most of them. I wonder who picked them up then. A star here has been left out for a purple, which is not good. But we do have a carriage for them, so they seem to be doing okay. This line's going down now, but we are having a little bit more congestion with these two lines, which I think Blue needs to actually connect to now. Why you're refusing to connect to it, I have no idea. But you're refusing to connect to it. I'm not too sure why that is. Oh, man, we're getting a lot of congestion on the outside areas now. These two areas in particular would have never thought would have been having this problem. But now they seem to... Oh, no. Okay, one second. I can't handle this. Merv, I'm sick of these chewing noises. You should be in there anyway. This is my fault. I shouldn't allow this behavior from you. Anyway, we're doing well, but I think this might be it. We got to try and think. Like, what we got right now? We do have another locomotive. That's a good point. Do we want to give that to yellow or red? I think red does... Does red require another locomotive? If we give red a little bit more responsibility, we could. But then blue's got to deal with this. So I think if we do give red... If we go back a little bit here when it comes to what red has to do. And if we do that instead. I actually go back on that. If we do that instead. See, we can't connect to it because there's a really weird reason why. Then we just go back there, and let's just go back on blue. Let's re-evaluate our situation. So we want to do this. And I think with blue, we'll want to do that. Now, this is a bit convoluted, I admit. Why is this... Why have I done it like this? This is absurd. Let's go back on that, because the way I've done it is a bit... Ah, bastard! Your claws need clipping, Merv. I looked at him in sort of like a evil way there. It's pretty fantastic. Right, blue is given a little bit more to deal with these other lines. Red has been given a little bit more to deal with. Yellow's been given a little less, but I feel like if we just have yellow go up there as well, that'll probably help out a little bit. Maybe green, but that's probably not going to be the case because green has a little bit down here to deal with as well. Excuse me. I think if we get red to move down here, immediately teleport that is, just to pick up anything that happens down here, we might be able to get it in time. Maybe, if we get lucky. You know, we're living in a perfect world, apparently. Let's just speed up a little bit. Oh, are they going to get there? Locomotive, carriage, give it to red. Give it to red, yeah? I think giving it to red's a good idea. So we picked up a few things, but now there's something going on here. It's a good thing we connected yellow to it. But it might not matter soon enough, because we're just overloaded with circles. So many circles. It's such a problem right now. This is not good to look at. Okay. There's two areas down here that are probably going to die. We're going to die, ladies and gentlemen. That's not good. Let's pick that up. Blue's coming down with a bunch of circles. That might help it out. Congestion is lowered a little bit. This is hectic. I can't pay attention. We'll do this, and we'll probably have... We need a new line for stuff down here now. Just like a separate line like we've got with purple here. Orange might be kind of useless now. I'm not too sure. Nah, let's keep orange with what it's doing. We might want to let orange do a little bit more over here. Oh, we're having connection problems now, aren't we? Let's go down. Let's just connect this in a different way. Why are you refusing to work? There we go. If we give orange that, that's pretty good. How many bridges do we have? 0. So it's just gotten rid of a little bit of problems that purple are having. Here's a bit of a problem, but it has been visited by a carriage. At least it will be. But I think that carriage is already full of stuff anyway. So it's probably not going to end well for them. Which means we might need another locomotive just to hang around by purple while we sort out any other issues that we're having. Yeah, it seems to be purple that's getting a lot of problems. This bit down here is not good. That's going to go straight away pretty much. And red right now is getting a bit screwed over with some of its areas. Oh, this isn't good. We've got 2 fully booked stations right now because we only have 1 plus. And we've connected them as best as we can, but we have just so many of these special blocks that seems to overrun the stations. Now, we do have a carriage that's just arrived here. It's going to pick up not enough people, really. Hopefully it drops off a few of them there, and then I'm just going to move it back. I don't want to do that. That guy's not going to be able to pick anyone up. I think this might be it. I'm not too sure. I'm going to try and get people to actually pick stuff up from there. But we just got so many specials right now that it's just sort of overrunning the entire system. We've got a lot here and a lot here. Yep, I don't see it. We did the best we could, though, ladies and gentlemen. But we simply got overrun and, to be honest, a little bit unlucky with our random generation. Right, I'm not too sure if the algorithm just states that you can only have 1 special station. But I think the idea is to make those stations the main hubs, where that's where everything goes. I think that might be what I do in the future, because I think they're the actual problem that we're facing right now when it comes to our playthroughs. Is 61 days, 1,729 passengers. For me, that's pretty good. That's a good leap. Nearly 2,000 there. If we go to our menu, I'm not going to look at the statistics because it's going to make me cry. But if we go to London, our previous score was 4,000. But wait, let's go back here. See, our top score. Oh right, is that what we are at total? I'm not too sure what that means. Let's see. So someone got 8,000 there, and in New York they got 9,000. Okay, it might actually be easier in New York. Well, we did well in London anyway. I mean, that's all that matters, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, it was the first time trying. I think we did pretty well, to be honest with you. We're getting used to it. We just need to find out the best way to get this done. I'm thinking right now that all the hub stations have to be these special stations that spawn. And I think we have to rearrange our entire systems based around these special stations spawning. And that might be something I do in the future. However, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. You've been watching me, the Innkeeper, play Mini Metro. As I said before, little challenge series. Play it every now and then. Have a lot of fun while doing it. Let's see if next time we might be able to beat Paris. I'm not too sure. It depends what we're doing. We might do New York again. I want to give that another shot. I think London, I feel like, you know, we've done a lot there. That's the train. That's the basic right now. I feel like we've done a lot. We've conquered it, as it were, in my mind. Not really. We haven't really. But I mean, you know, 4,000 and the leaderboard is like 8,838. That's not bad. That's half that. So, oh wait, no, that's score. So 1,106. So actually, no. No. I'm just really, really dense, apparently. That's fantastic. It's always good to think of it that way. I will get there eventually. At least I figured it out before, you know, not figuring it out. And then everyone will be like, oh my god, face palm. Would have been fantastic. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for all that extra little bit of information you may require. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch for random live streams, which would also help if you follow my Twitter, because that would help as well. Plugging, ladies and gentlemen, for myself and not for any other outsider products. That would be pretty great. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Fade out. Oh, wait, no, fade out again. Mini Metro.